Now we are going to talk about render settings over here. Now let's say we have this simple animation over here and I want to render it out either in PNG or JPG or even in video format. So let's see how we can do that. Then if you guys know that if you hit Control R, we will get this kind of render in our preview only, like this. And suppose if you want to create one image renderer, then you will get this option over here. Shortcut key is Shift R. If you press Shift R, it will render it out that image for you, like this. Then if you want to save this image over here, you will get this option known as Save As. Simply click on it and then it will give you some options like type that you want still image. Then you can choose format that you want. You can also choose depth, and then you can simply press OK, and then it will tell you to save the image at appropriate location you want. Okay, so this is the one way. And then we have some settings over here, like shortcut key is Control B, as you guys can see, and we have the settings. And first is output. Over here you have to decide the height width of your scene. For example, if I choose 1920 by 180, I'll get something like this. For example, if I choose height to 500, let's say, then even in preview, as you guys can see, this portion is little bit darker. So this is how this things work. So I'm going to choose 1080, like this. Then you can adjust resolution also. If you want 300, you can choose that. Then you can adjust the frame rate. Settings are really similar to After Effects and other video editing softwares like that, because mainly this software is not generally totally related to 3D modeling stuff, but most of the things are related to animation and motion graphic stuff. So that's why these options are really similar to After Effects and other video editing softwares. Okay, then after that we have one option known as frame range. Right now it's in current frame, that's why even if you press this option, it will only render that frame which is currently indicated over here, like this. Now suppose if I select this and I'll move this over here, then I'll go to the render settings. If you can see, the current frame is 44, and now if I select this and render it out, it will render it out this 44 frame. Okay, like this. But we can do certain changes also. Now suppose if I want to render out entire animation, then over here you will can choose manual also. Like you can choose manually, I want to render from 0 to, let's say, render it up to 90, not 900 but 90 frames, like this. So this is how. And then you can choose all frames also, which means basically it will select render it out all the frames, like this. Okay, then preview range, which means only this much range, like this. So yep, this is how you can change out the settings. Then there is another settings like saving settings. For example, if I go to the save options, first it will tell me to save one location. So from here you can save any location you want. You create any folder and save it wherever you want, and you can name that format also. Like generally I use AA or something. I can choose, let's say, animation over here, and I'll hit OK. Then format, you can choose whatever you want. We can choose PNG format, etc., and even you can use video format also, like this, and etc. Then suppose if you want to render it out PNG image, so you can enable this PNG and you don't want any background, then you need to enable this alpha channel over here, like this. Then only it will remove all the background and your animation would be like PNG. But for now we don't want that. I can choose JPG or even MP4 format also, like this. But let's choose JPG, like this, and then we can render it out our animation. Then as I said, this is physical renderer. There are two types of renderer, standard as well as physical. Generally we use standard renderer, but most of the time we use physical, because physical renderer, it will take a little bit time to render in physical renderer, but the quality of this physical renderer is a little bit advanced as compared to standard renderer. But suppose if you want a little bit normal stuff, then you can choose standard renderer also. Okay, so our entire setting is done, and now I want video output for it. So first of all I'll select JPG format, and then after that I'll close it, and then I'll go to the start, and I'll press shift R on my keyboard. Basically this is the same option, you can click over here also, and now what will happen, it will render out all the frames you have. As you guys can see, because this animation is really normal and it doesn't have any extra light and something, this is taking even less than 0 seconds to animate out. And you can preview this animation over here also. This is our render output like this. And now suppose I want the video format for this, then what we can do, I can simply select this save as. Instead of still animation, I will choose animation format. I'm going to choose mp4 avi, whatever you want, and then I'll hit OK. Then it will tell me to save the location. I'll choose this location, and now our animation has been saved in video format also. You can find this thing over here. If I hit play, I'll get this animation over here. So these are some render settings inside of Cinema 4D that we need to understand. These are very basic. Obviously we will talk about it much more when we do some actual motion graphic animation, but this is just about the concept, so that's enough for it. So yep, this is all about the render settings in Cinema 4D.